This is PIX on Politics Daily with Dan Mannarino.
Hey everybody, Dan Mannarino. Welcome to PIX on Politics Daily. So we've been talking about the big race for governor of New Jersey, big race for mayor of New York City. And then there's the other big race, the third race that we're following very closely, and that is the race for Jersey City mayor. So on election night, we're going to be spread out across the area, right, for the New Jersey governor's race, race for mayor. But we're also going to be in Jersey City, laser focused on this race. We already spoke to two of the candidates. Let me welcome you right now to the third candidate we're speaking to, Bill O'Day. So great to have you here, Bill.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
We're a month away from their election, right? And there's a lot of discussion that I've had with the two of your opponents, Jim McGreevey and James Solomon. And they are getting a lot of the attention because you declared pretty late, right? Over the summertime.
No. I declared in November of 23.
But how come you didn't get any attention until this past summer?
Yes, because that's just the way. My attention's knocking on doors. I got a lot of attention. I've got the largest ground game of anybody running, and it's a volunteer ground game.
So when you look at it right now, I'm sure you've seen the polling. There's been some debates with
We've
the
had
two.
our own polls too. So
Yeah. So what is your path to victory? What do you see?
my pathway is right now. In our last poll, we were like 8 points behind McGreevey, 4 points ahead of Solomon. So our path is just to identify our voters, get our voters to come out and vote. Remember, I've got 35 years of legislative experience. So
Yeah.
if you could add McGreevey and Solomon's legislative and executive experience, it's not equal to mine.
Which is, it brings me to the point for those who don't know much about you,
Right.
right? You were elected to be the youngest member of the Jersey City Council back in 1985, 26 years old, right?
Yep.
Before moving on then to the Hudson County Board of Commissioners, where you've been for 2 decades.
Yep.
So in between 1985 and 2025, why not run for mayor?
Good question. Two things were. One, there were different things that's going on in my life. Two, there were different candidates that I were okay supporting. Like I supported Philip when he ran 12
Yeah.
years ago because we needed a change from Jerry Healy. So those are just the reasons, why. Now I think I'm at a point in my career where I can go in, be the mayor, make the tough decisions that need to be made, and not worry about the consequences. That's
So
what you need as a mayor of Jersey
it was
City.
really timing. Timing is everything.
Timing is
right?
everything.
Let's talk about some of the big issues, right? You say that Jersey City needs a problem solver and that you're the answer. So let me
100%.
begin with the topic of housing, because that's what I hear a lot about
Yep.
from folks who live
Yep.
there. What is your plan specifically for affordable housing?
I know how to create housing. As the head of a not-for-profit based out of Elizabeth, New Jersey, I've directly been involved in putting together the funding and overseeing the development of over 750 units of housing. I have a plan that would create 2,800 units of affordable housing in Jersey City using state tax credits, low-income housing tax credits, local incentives, state affordable housing trust fund. Everything from developing a 12-unit, 3-story building, getting 20% of these high rises that are going up all over Jersey City to be 20% minimum, 30 to 60% area median income. I understand it. I know it. None of the other candidates come close when it comes to that issue.
There's big issues when you come to housing. There's the issues for homeowners, for those who
Yep.
own, right?
Property tax.
Property taxes. So if you were to win at the
Right.
end of a term, are property taxes the same? Are they lower? Are they higher? Can you guarantee that they'll be lower?
And no one can guarantee it's going to be lower because the city has anywhere from an $80 to $100 million operating deficit filled each year with bonding for things that shouldn't be bonded for. And I'm against that. I've always opposed the bonding. Jim McGreevey as governor bonded for $2.7 billion in operating expenses one year. The Supreme Court ruled that was illegal. So I'm not going to go down that road. I'm going to look at it as a 4-year budget, not a 1-year budget,
Okay.
and deal with the deficit over 4 years, little by little, increase revenue, get development projects done so they're paying taxes, full taxes.
But can you say if taxes are going to be, do you anticipate them going up?
I hope not. I want to stabilize them over 4 years, and any increases should be within a cost of living. So people can live with 2% a year more. People can't live with 20%. And I can tell you there's one way that we can stabilize and lower taxes, and that's to get the state of New Jersey to undo something was done 7 years ago to punish us for political reasons. And that's the formula for school funding. City of Paterson, City of Jersey City. Same number, we have more students.
Yeah.
Same number of students that are eligible for free school lunch and special education. City of Paterson gets $583 million in state aid. You want to guess what Jersey City gets? $148 million. Isn't there something wrong with that?
So you're talking about redoing the school funding formula.
100%.
So that is something that interesting, and I'm going to go off script for a second
Yeah.
because that's something that the Republican gubernatorial candidate Jack Ciattarelli wants to do. You agree with it?
Well, I don't necessarily agree with what he wants to do, but I agree that the current formula is wrong. And if you base it on a simple metric as opposed to a complicated one that was done to punish Jersey City. Jersey City, under the current amount of dollars allocated, would get $250 million per year more in state aid, which could stabilize taxes, guaranteed, as well as give additional money to the schools to help those students that need additional programs.
Yeah, I mean, Mayor Phillip told me once before that he had to raise taxes to keep up with
Yes.
the cost of inflation, but
Yes.
also because
Yes.
he didn't necessarily control it because he had to go with what the school funding formula
Yes,
was.
and he was there, and he didn't allow it. I mean, he wasn't for it, but he didn't fight hard enough against it. He blamed the Board of Ed instead of partnering with the Board of Ed to fight the state of New Jersey and demanding that state legislators from Hudson County vote no on the budget until that budget clarifies and fixes that formula. Think $250 million. It's huge.
Yeah, and that's on the ownership side, but on the renter side, which is a big chunk of
Huge,
Jersey City,
huge.
people are saying they can't afford the rents. They're going up because the rents are going up because people are moving. The demand is higher. People are moving out of New York City. How do you keep rents affordable?
Well, there's two problems, and I have to cite Councilman Solomon a little bit on this because he's been on the council for 8 years. The city of Jersey City has allowed illegal vacancy decontrol to occur. So landlords are forcing people out of the buildings, especially buildings that are older, 20 years or more, and a $1,200 rent becomes a $3,000 or $2,500 rent. That's illegal, but the city's done nothing about it. So
what would you do?
enforce it. Enforce it. Register rents. Go back after landlords that have done it illegally. Try to force them to roll those rents back to what they should be. But somebody's been asleep at the switch, not doing it. We go into an apartment building, and I say, "How long have you lived here?" "I lived here 20 years. What do you pay?" $950. "I've lived here 9 years. What do you pay?" $1,400. "I live here 2 years. What do you pay?" $2,500. That 2,500 person, and even the 1,400, was probably, they were raised illegally, and nobody's done anything about it.
In the last few weeks, the Gateway Tunnel project has been in the headlines for funding being frozen by the Trump administration. What's your reaction to that? And how would you ensure that that project continues if that funding were
I
withheld?
mean, we have to fight. We have to stand up to Trump. I'm not afraid to stand up to
But
Trump.
how would you stand up with it? Is it a lawsuit?
Lawsuits, legislative actions, turn Congress back to Democrat next year, all those things. You know what's scary about it? I was part of a group based on my role in my other job at the not-for-profit, where we were there monitoring to make sure local minority contractors got a piece of the work at that tunnel project. You know what happened when Trump came in? They just disbanded it. They sent us an email, "Sorry, based on Trump's executive order, this doesn't exist anymore." So that's a second scarier part of it. One is getting the tunnel back on track. Two, making sure that local and local minority contractors and vendors have an opportunity to be part of what the work is that gets done.
And while we're talking about transit, there's a big talk of congestion pricing. Governor
Huge.
Hochul says it's
Huge.
working. Do you support it?
No.
You don't support it. Would you support?
You know what I would support if Jersey City can do the same thing?
So you would support a reverse congestion
Yeah,
pricing?
can we charge all the New York folks that come to Jersey City? Oh, by the way, when they get a parking ticket in Jersey City, if they don't pay it, we can't suspend their license. But if we go to New York and get a parking ticket and we don't pay it, our license gets suspended. We probably lose $2 million a year from unpaid parking tickets from people from New York that know that there's nothing we can do.
So would you change it?
Yeah, well, we have to get the states to change it, but I 100% would fight to change
Yeah.
it.
So Mikey Sherrill has actually said she doesn't really want to go for that, like a reverse congestion pricing. Would you talk to her about it if she were to
I'd love
win?
to talk to her about it. Yeah, I mean, Jersey City's, is going to become the parking lot.
Yeah. And this brings me to New Jersey Transit, PATH. We
Yep.
were just talking
Yep.
before we went on about the PATH. People are looking for better service.
Agreed.
How does the mayor of Jersey City have any influence on the schedules of PATH trains? The people are looking for direct service on weekends, so on and so forth. What is your
You know
influence
what the
on
mayor needs to do? He needs to go speak at some Port Authority meetings.
Hmm.
When's the last time the mayor of Jersey City went and spoke at a Port Authority meeting? I've spoken 2 or 3 times in the last couple of years on different issues.
Yeah.
So, the chief of staff to the chairman of the Port Authority lives in Jersey City.
Yep.
His name is Peter Simon. I've already started discussions with him just about, let's get one good faith effort from the Port Authority, which is eliminate on weekends the train having to go to Hoboken before it goes to 33rd Street. That alone at least would be a good first step. Expanding PATH to the Marion section, another great step. And then working on things like schedules probably takes more time.
Do you need federal dollars for that?
Yeah, you're going to need federal dollars, but the Port Authority has money. They've got money. It's not like they don't have any money. They've been doing multi-billion-dollar projects. They did a new Terminal A at Newark Airport. They're redoing the air train there, which is another multi-billion-dollar project. They're going to save a lot of money because they're no longer extending path from Newark Penn Station to the airport. They're going to do something utilizing New Jersey Transit's existing service. So take that money there and let's reallocate that to some of the projects we need with PATH.
I've asked your opponents the same question, so I'm going to ask you. Since you're in such close proximity to New York, you'd have to work, of course, with the officials in New York. Zoran Mamdani is the Democratic nominee. He is by far the front runner right now in this race. Do you support him?
I'm really not involved in the New York City race. If I lived in New York, I'd vote for the Democratic nominee, of course.
But as a Democratic nominee, well, you're nonpartisan, right? But
election's nonpartisan, but I'm a registered Democrat.
Registered Democrat. As a Democrat who's running for office in Jersey City, which has huge connections to New York City, a lot of your residents work in New York City.
Yep.
Do you support him?
He's a Democratic nominee, so I would support him.
Yeah. And when you look,
I don't get involved in elections outside of my own area. But if I lived in New York today, I would vote for him. Yeah.
When you say outside of your area, you mean outside of state of New Jersey?
Yes.
Okay. When you look at the end of C. Phillips' term, something you disagree?
He's coming to New York too, right?
Yes, he is coming.
It's interesting.
Right? Yes.
Yeah. And I work very closely with him.
So something that he didn't do well that you would do better?
Communicate. I don't think he communicates well. I also think that he's not as hands-on as I am. Like, I'm getting problem solved 35 years, working day to day, 24/7. So I think his communication skills have failed him. I think in a great way that's a lot of his negatives are based on the fact that he hasn't been transparent communicating to the public.
And something that he did do well that you would continue.
I think he's done good on things like the performing arts. I think they've made great strides from where they were before, from the Lowe's Theater that's under $100 million restoration to many of the black box theaters that have been developed, to the artists that have come to Jersey City, been welcome in Jersey City. I think he's done an excellent job.
All right, Bill O'Day, got to leave it there, but it's great to have you.
My pleasure.
We'll be following your race on election night.
You got it.
I told everybody before that it is, unfortunately, if you didn't register to vote yet, you can't vote. Your registration is over, but you can vote early starting in 2 weeks. So make sure you exercise your right to vote. That'll do it for Picks on Politics Daily. Everybody, I'll see you next time.